Welcome back, you guys. My name is Paul, and in today's video I'll be talking about how I started eBay and what I used to do before that. I am currently traveling from Long Island. As you can see the vehicle behind me, that blue Odyssey. If you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly where I've been and what I picked up. So I'm currently driving back home, and I decided to make this video. It's going to be a long one, so if you guys are doing something, turn up that volume or put some earphones in your pocket, in your ears, and just listen. I'll just explain to you what I used to do before and how I got into eBay and how I kind of grew eBay to where I'm at right now. I apologize if there's any shakiness. I'm recording this with my phone, and it's in the little self-charging, whatever they're called, phone holders, and my truck is deleted, for those of you that don't know, so it might be a little loud. You might hear the turbo whistle and my beautiful exhaust noise. It's not as loud as the microphone picks it up. It's only loud whenever it's in third gear going up a steep hill. It gets loud, and the exhaust brake here and there. So I apologize for any noise, but I'm just gonna try to explain to you how I done this, and I'll flip you guys around so you guys can enjoy the scenery instead of just looking at me at my face. It's beautiful out here. It's that transition from summer to fall, which it's probably one of my favorite times of the year. Everything changes colors, and it's kind of nice and bright red, yellow, and green. So I'll flip you guys around, and I'll explain to you how I done it. All right, so I'll start with how or what I used to do before I even got into eBay. I started eBay kind of on accident. I didn't really had any ideas or any plans, and I didn't even really know that eBay would, be where it's at today. I mean, I have some friends that have been on eBay for over 20 something years, and some of them like it, some of them hate it. So I in particular love it because it makes me money and it gives me the freedom. So I used to right off middle school I kind of started my first business mowing lawns, and if you're a type that likes to work, you know what I'm talking about. You kind of run after school before you do your homework. You gotta mow some lawns. That's more important than homework. Homework was kind of for the kids that like doing homework. I was not one of them. I pretty much never done my homework unless it was important and I need to know stuff. I kind of done it in school before I even got out, because in schools these days, probably half the school year is a waste of time. I mean, it's fun if you just want to hang out and have fun talking to people, but it's pretty boring if you want to learn stuff. So after middle school, I started mowing lawns with a push mower that my dad bought for his house. That was kind of the beginning of my career, or my money-making skills. I was always into business. I was always into trying to find a way to make life easier and to create freedom for myself. Create something, different that you can kind of brag about. So that's where I started. And then I made an account with eBay probably my junior year of high school. And I used to work with my dad's in construction, and he's been there pretty much all his life. I learned a ton of things from him. Everything from foundations to custom finished cabinets, trim work, basically from A to Z. Everything that's in construction, with the exception of like HVAC, all the tech stuff. That's something that's, I guess, you need college for that, or at least a good trainer. But pretty much everything electrical, I mean, that stuff is simple whenever it's a residence. I'm not talking about commercial construction jobs. I'm talking more of a residential construction type homes. So I've learned from A to Z. We've built a few homes. So that was my kind of the idea of my job, is to be in construction and build homes, become a builder, and just kind of build as you go. In evenings, we will also, like my dad taught us how to buy and flip cars, buy them, fix them up, sell them. So we started buying a lot of Odysseys. If you know why I'm buying Odysseys, that's basically why, because we fixed so much of them that I just got so close to Odysseys, so attached to them. So I'm a minivan guy now. This is the #1 car that I buy, and it's not because it makes me more money. I just know it so well. I know how much money it's in it and how much I can get out of it. So we used to fix a lot of cars, and by then I already used eBay. I think I'm opened my account in 2011. That's when I was a junior in high school, and I sold a few things from the house, just random stuff I really didn't need, just kind of see how it sells. And I've sold some stuff, but then fixing so many cars, we started buying parts cars from the auctions, just to fix a car or 2 cars or 3 cars. Sometimes we bought an Odyssey, like a flooded one, and took all the body panels off of it to fix 3 or 4 Odysseys to sell them. And that's just something we've done, and my dad taught me, and my brother, he's a mechanic. He kind of did all the technical stuff, all the mechanical things, and I mainly kind of focused on, doing body work, all that. I never paint. I mean, I've painted some stuff, but we never painted cars ourselves. We always found the paint shop to do it for us, because it's a messy process. And I know how it's done. I just don't feel like it's necessary. So after buying that first parts car, I just decided to, put it on. I don't think Facebook Marketplace was out there then. Maybe it was, but I used Craigslist. And I sold some stuff. I mean, selling stuff on Craigslist is annoying. You have 1 to 10 ratio, 1 being selling, 10 not. So it was bad. I never liked it. So I started putting up stuff on eBay. And man, oh man, I found some interesting things. We sold a door, and I didn't even realize that I have to ship it. How do you ship a door? Yeah, that was my problems back then. And I started listing. We listed maybe 200 or 300 parts, and I just sat back. I'm like, why aren't sales coming in? That's weird. I have so much parts available. Nobody's buying anything. And that's when I kind of started doing research. And by then, I got married when I was 19 because I found a girl that I just fell in love with, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. So I married a girl that I loved. She was 18 and I was 19, and we've been together ever since. And I've never argued with her, and we never have any problems in our marriage. I mean, we do have occasional arguments, but it never goes far because we care about each other. And so I got married at a pretty young age. I mean, some of you might laugh at me for it, but I'm glad I did it, because to me it was important to just find the one, and I felt like I did that. And after 7 years now being married, I love every single day of my life. So I got married, and then we kind of, she was thinking, oh, maybe she should just go find a job. And I was like, well, there's eBay. Let's try that. I mean, I've tried it. So we watched a lot of YouTube videos. So if you're one of those people that, posted stuff on YouTube, you kind of made me do it. So I watched Raking Profits. I watched Rockstar Flipper. And I kind of started with those 2. I mean, there's way more. I just can't remember some of the names. I just know these 2 because I watch them the most, and they sell clothing. So me and my wife, we just decided, hey, let's just start with clothing. So we started selling some of my older. We're not older necessarily. They're just smaller clothes that didn't fit me anymore. So we started selling some of my clothes. It kind of started from there, and it went good. Then we started going to Goodwills and all the thrift places and buying clothing, buying everything else, to a point where it's just kind of clothing to me is not fun. I don't know. I don't even like going out shopping for myself. It's just, I think my wife does it for me now. She knows the sizes and she just goes, buys me stuff, and I'm super happy about it. I don't have to do it, and she makes me look good, so I have no problem with that. But for her, it was fun. She liked shopping. But I didn't really see how you can grow, because our average was about, I think, $15 in profits per item. Some are low, some are more, so about $15 average. And for us to scale that, it would be difficult to find inventory, and that was my biggest problem. Not enough inventory. And we live in Midwest Missouri. Not a bunch of fancy people out there. There's mainly cowboys and countrymen and some rednecks here and there, but there's some fancy, but it's really hard to find something valuable and good in clothing in this area that we live in. So, and then I just had this thought, like, we buy cars to part out. I know junkyards existed, but I just never thought eBay sells used parts. I've never bought anything off eBay that was a part. And then whenever I thought about that, I kind of decided, hey, I'm just gonna do some research, see what eBay sells, and I found out that there's a lot of auto parts on eBay, used and new. So that was kind of the idea. And then, so me and my wife, we decided, just, hey, we'll just try one. We had a bunch of parts laying around from the previous cars we fixed, from the parts cars we bought. So we just decided, hey, we'll start with that, see what it does. And we listed, and I used to live in an apartment, so I used to use my dad's house to keep the car part. Well, I mean, we basically buy a parts car, take everything good off of it, and just take the scrap to scrapyard, the trash in the trash can, and that's kind of it. We cleaned up pretty clean. I never liked keeping cars behind the houses. You know, I've seen some guys do it. They have like junk from 10 years or even more. I hate that. That's not me. So we used to live in an apartment, and then we started trying to sell parts. We moved to a duplex where I had a garage, and that's kind of where my eBay business actually started. The way I did my research, I found some sellers that sell used auto parts, and I basically kind of learned what makes they sell, how much they sell, and if you go to the sold listings, you can see how much they sold in 90 days. So I basically sat there for a week or two collecting all this information of what they sell, how much they sell it for, what makes they sell it, what models, what year ranges. And I kind of realized that there's a good market for selling used auto parts. I mean, people buy stuff. And honestly, now I think more than ever, people do go and buy used auto parts on eBay. It's convenient, and if you get a good seller and you buy from them constantly, like I have some customers now, they just call me because of the previous sales I've made. And they call me and say, hey, I know you sell Odysseys, do you have a part? I'm like, you sure? Bet I do. And if I don't, I just go and buy one, because I'm trying to get my business to a point where, you know, I'm going to have stock of everything. We're talking used parts, so it's not like I can go buy a container from China and like fulfill my customers' orders. You know, if somebody asks me for a door, I got to go buy an entire car to give them a door. So, and we'll touch on this a little later, but so after that, we lived in a duplex, and we bought another parts car, and I was still fixing cars after work, after my construction job. And I sold some cars. We sold other cars as well, not only Odysseys. I'm just talking about Odysseys because that's mainly what you see on my channel, just because I buy so many of them. And now lately I've been buying Siennas as well. And I'm not buying any other minivans. These are the only two I call a minivan, and I stand by them. Those are the only two nice ones built out there. Everything else I don't like, minivan wise. So after that, we started kind of figuring out how we can take good photos, because I listed some stuff. I mean, we took pictures with like a blanket or a bed sheet, you know, one of those white bed sheets. it was always wrinkly. It was always, so then we bought paper. It always rips. I mean, we're selling parts. Some of them, even after cleaning, they still have some grease on them. You can't clean them perfectly clean. Well, back then I could. Now we can't. So we got to our 200 listings or so on eBay. It was a lot of learning to do, because I think also eBay was changing a bunch of their rules in 2012 or something like that. Like there's been a lot of changes on eBay. Then I got my basic store, or maybe that's where we started with. I know now they have so many like beginner stuff, but we filled up our basic store, and the number one problem I had, we used to list like once a week, sometimes once in 2 weeks. Like I would get all these parts ready, clean them, photograph them, shelve them, but it was just inventory that's set before it even got listed. And I mean, it's just something. And my wife, she started listing herself, and we kind of figured out to do it once a day. So she lists a couple things a day. And I had my first newborn back then, so it was a lot of kind of family growing. I mean, to me, my family was more important than anything. So I wanted to spend time with my newborn. It's kind of, it's one of those things. It only comes like whenever your child is a baby, it only comes once in a lifetime. They grow up and you that's it. So I enjoyed all that we spent as much time as possible. So eBay was not like an important thing to me. It was just an additional extra cash in my pocket to grow my family. After that, and I did mention, I did research. I actually sat down and just thought about actually trying to grow eBay, since I knew the potential. I knew how much profits there are. I knew how much you can make. So I decided to, let's just start this and see how it goes. So I started that. I got my first storage unit just because my garage was getting filled up, and we were using my room for storage, my dining room for photography, where having a toddler, small baby at home, not a baby anymore, a baby that crawls, let's put it that way. It was not safe to do that, because we would photograph, like we put her for a nap and we would photograph stuff, we would list stuff. I had a door from a car sitting in my living room, and like every time I have guests come over, I'm like, wow, you have some nice decor in here. So I put my office in there, all our eBay related items, all the light boxes, all that. You know how much, if you're on eBay, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about a duplex with 2 rooms, living room, and a garage. That's all. That's basically, kitchen, living room will run all one room. But that's basically what I'm talking about. So I got a storage unit to kind of clear out the room, get everything out of there, to kind of make it a little safer for my baby. In doing that, then I got another storage unit, just because I already filled up that one, and I was lucky enough they had like the double ones got it available together, so I grabbed that. If I'm not mistaken, it was like $80 a unit, so $160 a month for both units, and there was one, it's like 24 by 24, something like that. So I started with that. Then we moved to a bigger house, also a rental, but private owned. It had a bigger garage, a bigger house, and that's when I kind of made the decision that I'm gonna try to get my eBay higher, so I can quit my construction job. Even though construction to me was a bunch of fun, it was all family business. My dad, my uncle, brothers. It was a lot of fun. Driving to work with all of them, eating breakfast in the morning with them. Working lunch, we always had stuff to talk about. We always had jokes. It was an amazing time to work with all of them. So it was a little sad for me to kind of know that I'm gonna quit. But it never really hit me until I actually started making money on eBay enough that I actually realized, hey, I probably need to quit if I want want to keep this growing. Or if I don't, then it's just going to stay where it's at. You know, the sale, there's no time in my life to be able to grow the company, work in construction, and also have time with the family. And then I had my other second child. So having kids and kind of, you know, being in construction, there's no time in the day to be enough. Yeah, energy wise, I had enough energy to work 24/7. That was not the issue. It was just I had to draw a line between family, business, and being in construction. So I quickly noticed that, you know, being in construction 8 hours, 9 hours, I mean, in construction we had to drive a little more sometimes like I leave at 7 in the morning, come back at 5. So it's like I'm back at 5, then it's either like you hang out with your family or you go right on eBay. And for a year or so I kind of struggled with that because I wanted to be with the family, but then it's like, well, I also want to create freedom for myself by growing eBay. So I basically had to just draw that line saying either I quit my construction job or I quit eBay. Or not necessarily quit eBay, but like have it as a part-time kind of, you know, second thing in my life. But with eBay, unless like if you want to be selling stuff, you got to provide 1 day business handling. If you want to be good at eBay, I mean, you can provide up to 5, but as a customer, like I bought a lot of stuff online. I don't like waiting for stuff. 3 to 5 days is okay. Everything after that, I mean, if you buy something and they don't ship it out in 5 days, I'll probably buy it somewhere else and get it delivered to me quicker. So I quickly realized that it's not going to work for me just to have this, you know, kind of weekend thing. Because I also love nature. I like to travel. I like to fish. I like to enjoy life while I can. And that's what my grandpa always told me. He said, you get too old too quick, and you don't even realize it how quick life goes by. And that's something I started realizing. You know, I had my first daughter, and how quickly, you know, they get from the napping baby to a crawling baby to a walking baby, a talking baby, and it just goes by so quick, and you just don't realize it. So I didn't want to miss out on their childhood, and I wanted to be the perfect dad for them, you know, be with them every single day, spend time as much as possible. So I had to draw that line of quitting construction. So me and my wife, we decided, hey, we're just gonna, you know, this year, it was, I think, a 2014 maybe even 15. I might be off on all my dates, so kind of ignore that. But we just decided, hey, this year we're gonna push it. We're gonna like spend enough time with kids, but also spend as much time as we can possibly do to be able to grow my eBay business. And I apologize if I'm not talking, it's just because somebody pulls in front of me or something, so apologize about that. I have to use my head. I can't multitask too much. So we just decided, hey, we're gonna try this. We're gonna put all we got, all our time. And my wife, I mean, she's a warrior. She had 2 babies, and she still was able to get 20 to 30 items on eBay. She did all the cleaning, she did all the photography, she did all the listing, she shipped pretty much all lighter items. Anything that sells, she shipped it out. She took it out to the postal service. So I mean, she was a warrior. She did it all. And a lot of times I had to stay late at construction because I knew I was quitting, and I kind of already had a date, and we were basically in the middle of a big job we had. We were building like a barndominium for a guy. So I wanted to finish that, and then after that job, so I was staying long hours. I was just trying to get as much, and then also my dad was building a house, so I was also there giving him a hand. I mean, it was late days. I'm probably 12 to 16 hours a day, because my dad, he did so much for me. I just had to do it. I had to take that time. You know, you only set of parents in your life, and mine did. Both of my parents, mine and my father, my wife's parents. So I feel like family stuff has to be done. That's something that you just have to do it. And with whatever my dad gave me in life, there's nothing I can do to return it. So all I can do is just help him achieve his dream, and I mean, give him a chance to kind of get to where he wants to as well. So that was kind of going on. So we were like on eBay full time. I mean, I wasn't there full time, but my wife was there full time, grinding it out 10 hours a day. And after about 6 to 8 months, we finally realized that there's a lot of ways to make money on eBay. So after I got that job done, and then we kind of finished my dad's house, helped him move, and that's when I kind of quit. I did tell him it's a family business, it's my dad's business, and then we basically quit. I basically quit the construction for like 4 weeks, and my dad needed some other help. So I had to run out there really quick and spend another month. We were framing up another house for his best friend, and he just needed some help from me. So I kind of decided, hey, you know, I was home for 3 weeks. I got a bunch of stuff done, so I kind of, and the money was there too, so I got paid very well. So I couldn't really pass up the opportunity. So I did that, and after that, after quitting for about 3-4 weeks. Before even I quit, we did find a shop that was 15,000 square feet, and I did lease that I wrote a lease for a year, and I moved all my office work, I moved all my shipping, all my photography, and all my inventory to the shop. I did not move all my part outs and cleaning stuff to the shop because there's not enough room for all that. And after, I think we've been there for about 6 months, and it was working out well. I had my normal hours now, you know, from whenever I wake up to whenever I feel like coming home. So I never had, and that's the freedom I'm talking about, and that's my whole purpose of selling stuff on eBay, is not to make money. You know, I have some friends that's all they think about. How do I make money? How do I make money? You know, money these days is useless if you can't use it properly. It's just a tool. It's just a tool for you to get where you want to be. So I don't have alarm clocks anymore since I started, unless I have somewhere I need to be or a meeting. If it's early in the morning, I'm the type that sleeps in a lot and stays late. That's just the genes in me for my family. Even though my dad and my grandpa, they're the early people. They go to bed early, they wake up early. My mom's side, that's the total opposite. So I don't have alarms. I basically get to work 8, 9 o'clock, sometimes 10, and that's kind of the freedom we like, because my wife has to go somewhere. She has the freedom. Like, I'm not required to be at work. So we started doing that, and then having that shop. After about 6 months, my neighbors across the parking lot, they moved out, and they had a almost 5,000 square feet shop. So I called up my landlord. I'm like, could I take that over? And she said yes. It was a little bit scary because I went from a $700 rent to almost $3,000 shop rent. It had 2 offices, plenty of room to expand. So I kind of went for it. I didn't really have much money. I mean, I got married at 19. Which 19-year-old has cash stored around? So I kind of bootstrapped most of this business. And honestly, I haven't been making money. Everything I made, I paid off my bills, my rent, my utilities, and put food on the table, and, you know, dress up the kids. And that's kind of it. We bootstrapped this whole thing from the start. And my wife, I mean, she's been helping me with this ever since we started. And she still does. I mean, even though, like, I'm telling her, we have 4 kids and 1 coming. I'm like, you really need to just kind of, you know, go away from this. like, well, I'm trying to help to get this somewhere where, you know, you could be home all the time. And so we done that. We moved to this location. I moved everything from my garage, finally cleaned it out so my wife can actually use the garage and, you know, not leave the car outside in the cold and the hot. So it was garage kept. The kids were I mean, it's nicer to have a car inside the garage, especially having kids, newborns, all that. It's especially winter times, like you have to dress them up, then you gotta undress them. So it's just it's very convenient. But that's kind of how I started. That's just how I got to where I am. And if you're looking at it and you're like, well, it's too difficult, it's, you know, it looks difficult if you kind of look at all of it at once. But if you just divide all, like where you want to be, if you divide that in smaller steps, you can make it. So after we got our big shop, I really sat down and kind of, you know, we talked with my wife. We're like, we're not going to be making money here. There's no way you can be making money and enjoying life at its fullest, like traveling, doing all. It's not possible, because the more you list, the more you sell. You got to ship stuff out, and currently I ship out anywhere from 20 to 80 items a day. It's very hard to tell what's going to be next. I mean, I can kind of see how much money I can kind of see what the future holds and how much, but it's also, I mean, it's just a guess, because I don't know if eBay's going to be there tomorrow, because eBay itself, they're changing owners like socks here and there. They're changing all their rules, but it's, so, and I'm kind of looking at all that, I'm like, I'm relying on eBay too much. So we're kind of in the process of trying to get our own website going and kind of splitting our stuff into multiple platforms. And it also brings another idea or a question that I've been asked. Should you spread all your stuff throughout platforms? I'm gonna say no to that, because you gotta learn one and be professional at one before you get into another one. So on eBay, I already kind of figured it all out. We already know how it works. We know all the little quirks and problems and everything that we need to know. We already know about eBay. So now we're just trying. Plus, we can afford to try something else. And if it fails, it fails. You know, we'll try something again. And that's how I learned. There's so many failures I had in running eBay or having my own business. So after I moved to this almost 5,000 square feet shop, the shop I'm currently in, or half of it, I got myself a dealer license to be able to buy vehicles on the auctions. I had a friend that lived in Missouri. He actually moved away to Florida, I think, and he was a dealer. So at first he was buying cars from me, then he kind of gave me the permission of doing it myself. He gave me the login information. So and he was charging me, I think, $100 a vehicle that I buy on his account. So I started doing that, and then after we moved, I decided to go ahead and get my dealership license, even though I really don't need it. But I kind of saw the opportunity of other people buying cars with my accounts, or I'll just buy it for them and I get the $100 as well. So I have a lot of people that buy from me now. So and if they're kind of the ones that are, you know, doing it on a regular basis, and we have no issues, I kind of give them my information and they buy cars themselves. I don't have to even worry about it, and they just get the $100. So I done that. I got my salvage license for all my salvage vehicles, because here in every state is different. So if you're in a different state, just go on your state website about dealerships and about that, or even call your local DMV and they'll kind of point you in the right direction. But in our state, you have to have a dealer to be able to reassign vehicles, not necessarily buy, but some auctions, they kind of qualify vehicles as dealer only. So if you're a scrapyard, you can't buy it. It's a dealer only or public only, or as being a dealer, that's kind of the top tier of vehicle buying on auctions. So had to go to a seminar or one of the classes and insurance, all that stuff. And every state is different. Your state might not require that. Some states might even require more. We have also salvage inspection. So like if we fix a salvage vehicle, we got to inspect it by highway patrol and got to get the paperwork for it. It's a different thing. So I'm not talking about that now, but so I got all that. And that's kind of where I took care of my inventory. Now I honestly have unlimited sources of inventory. I can buy Copart and Insurance Auto Auctions, they sell thousands of vehicles a day. So that's where I took care of that biggest problem where we had with clothing and clearance items. Yes, there's a lot of ways you can buy returned items, all the damaged items. I mean, there's a lot of warehouses and places you can buy all that, but it's not. I just don't like shopping for that. And since I used to fix so many cars, I kind of started liking selling parts. So to me, it's fun. I enjoy selling parts. So that took care of that problem, and that's basically where I've done this for probably a year and a half, and I decided that I just have so much time in my life, and I can just do so many listings in my life. So we decided to hire employees, or I don't like calling people employees. I feel like it's just not it's not as nice as calling them like a member of the team. So I decided to hire a team member. It was tough. It was hard to wrap my head around that. And I don't know if you're watching this and you hired people. I've hired a lot of subcontractors, that they're responsible for whatever they do. They damage it, they don't get paid, and like goodbye. This was a little different. Having a team member in my space. It was my shop. Everything was organized the way I liked it. I mean, I kept it swept up, cleaned up, dusted. I had my personal belongings there. I never had to put passwords on computers. Computers had passwords themselves, but I didn't have to turn off my screens every now and then. So it was a different thing. So that was kind of what worried me the most, is having somebody else in my business, but I did find two people. There were a couple, and I knew, I kind of met the guy in a different place, and he used to do some detailing for another guy, and I knew how he worked. I knew how he done his work, and I've noticed sometimes whenever he didn't have a car to clean, he actually cleaned the shop when he was not even told to do so. So that to me was kind of no-brainer. So one time I just talked to him and I'm like, what's kind of your plans for the future? He's like, well, I'm quitting this job. So I kind of looked at it. I'm like, well, perfect opportunity to hire somebody. We went ahead and hired him, and then I think his girlfriend used to kind of come out. I never really knew her at all, but I asked him right off the bat, I'm like, both of you want to work? And he said he'll ask her and double check, and I come to find out that yeah, she also wanted to work, and it was tough. My hiring skills are not the best, so they showed up, and I'm like, okay, this is what you're gonna be doing, this and that. You guys up for it? They're like, yep. I'm like, okay. I never even really asked them what their plans are or what they want to do and how far they're gonna go. So that was kind of my hiring process, and I hired them beginning of 2020. So they've been with me for 9 months now. I can probably tell you that was the best decision I've ever made, and I trust them with everything I have in my business. They never took a dollar. If they damage something, we all make mistakes, we all damage stuff. So if they damage something, they always come up to me, hey, this broke down, or I made a mistake here. I like people like that, because I used to have just cousins help me out, and other people just random like kids that, you know, wanted to make a few dollars. They help me out. Sometimes they break something, they hide it, they run away. And then like you work, you need that tool, you get to it and it's broken. So now you have to waste more time, go to the store, find it, buy it. So it kind of, that's kind of where it happened. And after that, it's been about 9 months, and we decided to list 10,000 items on eBay this year, and we're pretty good on it. We're slightly behind. I think we're like 600 items behind schedule, and a lot of it has to do with us getting a new software system for our inventory management, and also the inventory management system is also there just in case eBay ever crashes. I'm not going to lose my listings. We use Carpart or Checkmate by Carpart. They have 5 or 6 ways of backup. Just in case even they crash, they do have backups available. Hopefully to save most of our listings. I don't know how, I think photos are also saved. Yeah, they're all saved on external hard drives. So that was kind of my next step in business, to be able to protect my investment, my labor, my work, the listings we create, because we can pop those up on eBay immediately. Let's say like eBay decides to close my account, there's always an opportunity to, you know, open an account with somebody else's name, email, and then be able to list all those items with one click. Yes, I'm going to be charged a lot, and it'll be difficult to grow that account quick because eBay has all the restrictions on. So it will become a problem, but we can have a multiple account, 3-4 accounts at a time, and we can actually get all our inventory out. So as of right now, I'm kind of trying to figure out a way to be able to give some kind of safety in my business, because let's say you list something and you really don't have any backups. Let's say something happens, your listings get deleted, that's it. I mean, you got to redo it from scratch. I mean, if you save your photos, but let's be honest, saving thousands of photos is not going to help you. It'll take more time looking for the photos. So that's where I am right now. There's a lot of things I have planned for, a lot of new things coming, and hopefully next year, springtime, we'll have some cool news for you guys. I just gotta wait to see how this year ends and how my taxes look, because those are scary for self-employers. I mean, if you're self-employed, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're just an employee or work for a company, yours probably aren't as scary as mine. Every year they just get scarier. And for me to actually be making good money, I gotta pay a lot of money. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I hope you guys had something good from this video. I know it's long. I know I covered a bunch of stuff. I might have repeated myself multiple times, but I guess that will be it. So that's where I'm at right now in the business. I have 2 employees. I'm currently looking at getting maybe 2 more. One of the guys, his name is, both of my workers are Cody and Kirsten. Cody takes care of part outs, and he does all the cleaning, and he takes care of photography. He also pulls parts every morning for us. We're just trying to kind of divide all the jobs between each other, so we can kind of, so he comes in, he pulls the parts, then he kind of goes back to photographing, to keep Kirsten busy, basically, because she does all our Checkmate insertion stuff. So she makes all the listings on Checkmate, gets all the proper fitments, all that, years, pictures inserted, all that, and then she just, at the end of the day, she sends out the listings after we actually shelve it, get the locations, all that. So she lists all the stuff. So I really need somebody to come in and be a full-time part out. I need a full-time packer, because I'm the one that packs now, and tell you what, some days I'm there 12 hours still packing. not complaining. It's one of the best parts of the business, you know. You kind of see the cash roll in because you're packing stuff out, and with the new eBay payment method, you only get paid after the item, I guess, either gets delivered or at least gets the tracking upload. I really didn't really look into it when, but I know it's slightly delayed. So I don't know if it's because I know the weekend, if we don't ship anything out, we really don't. And then Mondays we always get a pretty good chunk of money in, but it could have been from the other couple days. So I don't know if it gets delivered, then it's cleared. Also, like returns are always, if you get a return, your money is on hold. So that's kind of where we at right now. So I'm looking for. It probably won't be this year, but starting next year, I do want to get a full-time guy porting out cars, a full-time cleaner, which I think both of those could be part outs and cleans, so the guy that cleans does not quit on me, or girl, whoever they be. Because if somebody's doing one thing over and over and over, and I can see cleaning stuff, unless you're just a clean freak, you're not going to like it too much. So I'm hoping to get 2 people to be part out and cleaning, and then 1 person to be a packer. That's kind of my plan for next year. I don't know if it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, but that is my goal. That is my idea. So I guess that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you like it. And then if you have any questions, leave those in the comments, or any other ideas that you want me to cover in the future videos. And also YouTube, if you want to know, the only reason I started is to help out some more of you guys. I kind of learned from some sellers on YouTube. I guess Raking Profit was, I really don't watch him anymore because we're totally in different businesses, but I think he was the first one, and I kind of started following him when he just started. And then I also kind of found out about Rockstar Flipper, if you know about that guy. He's also the one that kind of motivated me. So big thanks to both of those guys. And that's kind of, I wanted to start YouTube a long time ago, but I just never found a good reason to it, I guess. But after a while, I seen what I could achieve, and I thought, well, maybe there's somebody else out there, you know. And there's not a lot of content about selling used auto parts on eBay or online necessarily. There's a lot of sellers. That is really true. There's a lot of sellers, and if you go on even eBay, just search a random part, you'll see how many sellers you get. Pull up. There's a lot of junkyards that are also transitioning to eBay, and like Car Part, they just pretty much not too long ago, it also started even linking eBay to their system. So everybody's kind of going that way, and I thought, well, I'm sure there's people that are, you know, trying to get their life together, or especially this year. I mean, it's tough as is, but with this year, I know a lot of families are losing jobs and maybe even lost them. And this would be a good opportunity for you guys to, you know, try something else. And you don't have to sell parts to, you know, be successful. I know a lot of other people that sell. I know a guy, he buys stuff from a dollar store, like school supplies, and yeah, he said his profit margins are low, but it's profitable. He's like, I can get inventory any day. I order stuff in bulk, and he's like, I think he gave me one example. He sells pens, and they're branded pens. They're not, you know, like some Chinese knockoffs. They're branded stuff. And you can buy them for $1 at the dollar store, or like $3 or $4 at Walmart. And he says he sells them in bulk, and he's been successful doing that. I mean, that's all he does. So it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you put your mind to it. You create yourself a plan, and you kind of stick to it. And that's what I've done, but I've done it with parts. And I have a lot of other cool ideas coming. I just don't want to share all of it up front, because, you know, life is life. You never know what you'll be doing tomorrow. So instead of telling you guys what I want to do, I'll just live, get to it and then share with you guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you don't mind, leave me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. And I already have about 10 videos already recorded and ready for YouTube, so gotta find some time to record those. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.